Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana has reached the micro support zone that I communicated in yesterday's update. I think in yesterday's video we already saw the onset of this pullback there. Honestly, we're only talking about microstructures these days because price action is very boring. I mean, depends on what you expect, right? I mean, this is still quite volatile price action overall, especially if we compare it with the stock market. And to be honest, I mean, this pattern here looks pretty much like this fractal here. Really no difference, you could say. It's in both scenarios a three-wave rally. And basically that suggests another low is still highly likely. Of course, not guaranteed, but in the red scenario, as we talked about in the previous few days, it is possible there a five-wave move to the downside is developing here. But because this is not impulsive to the downside, it's not. After three waves down, the situation of market sentiment can shift from what would be a downtrend into a potential beginning of a new uptrend. After three waves, things can always change. And I'm observing this very meticulously. So obviously what we're dealing with here is a situation in which we have three waves down of the March high. That usually indicates the low could be in, and I'm tracking upside as a potential, not with a high probability, because probabilities on this chart on the smaller time frame are really balanced. We just need the market to make up its mind. At the moment, we have three waves down and three waves up. So back-to-back corrective price action. And really, there are two potentials. There is one short-term bullish count, which is the yellow one that you're aware about. I mean, these counts haven't changed in a long time now. You know, and basically for the last 2 or 3 weeks on this, no, last 2 weeks in this micro pattern is what we've been tracking really. And yeah, they've stayed quite stable. Both potentials still alive. That indicates the indecision of this market really. I mean, we are in a range there, holding above micro support, not breaking out above resistance here. So we are in no man's land, you could say. Depends on which perspective you want to take. From a short-term bullish point of view, we have a three-wave move up. This could continue and form a larger ABC structure, but that's highly speculative, okay? But a possible setup was communicated here with a micro support area between $127.50 and $143.40. I mean, this is a micro support area. If it holds, it could send us higher, possibly to highs above the March high. So that means basically above $210. That's possible in this yellow scenario. And the requirement though is that this support area holds. The red count allows for another low. Would look perfect. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why not? You know, that's possible in the red count in which we're dealing with an A wave of a larger wave 4 correction. In this scenario, however, I need to see a break below the support area. So there are two counts, one offering a short-term bullish potential, one offering a short-term bearish potential. There is one level that distinguishes between the two, and that's always what you need to ask for, even if an analyst offers you a completely different perspective. The question is always not is it up or down, but at what point does the analyst change his or her perspective? And in this case, it's 127.50. I mean, I'm looking for higher, possibly. Otherwise, I wouldn't offer a support region. But obviously, it's fairly balanced probabilities. That's sort of the subjective assessment. To a degree objective, because we only have three-wave movements. As I always say, with Elliott wave, we need five-wave patterns. On this time frame, there isn't a five-wave pattern. Probabilities really balanced. When you're using this analysis for a trade, you need to be aware of that. And you know, why am I leaning to the upside? Again, it's not strong probabilities, but the reasoning behind this is that we have three waves down. So for a fourth wave in the yellow count, it's not way too deep, but it's deep. Okay, so this correction needs to be over if it's the yellow count. So you can make a case for a completed correction there, and then we just watch how it's unfolding. And Bitcoin is at a critical juncture. So if Bitcoin holds support, Solana could as well. And even in the red count, obviously we're tracking an A wave down, but an A wave can also be a three-wave move. So I have potentially two scenarios in which the low could be in versus one in which not. So that shifts probabilities maybe just slightly into the towards the upside. But yeah, I would not use probabilities for trading here. Yeah, I would use the levels. So we now have a pullback into a micro support area. And I would argue if you trade this time frame, you need an additional edge, not just Elliott wave. You know, you want to use, I don't know, moving averages. You can use RSI, MACD. But from an Elliott wave point of view, the levels are clear. The market actually respected them or is respecting them at the moment. This looks like a 5-wave move down to me. So it is very much possible that this is extending into a larger A, B, C in wave B. But I would say everything that happens between where the price is now and the $127.50 level, it's just noise. There are a lot of potentials on these smaller time frames. So see that as noise. But as soon as we break out to the upside above the $160 level, I think wave C to the upside could indeed be unfolding. In case we break below $127.50, it's likely we are testing the $108, $109 level. That's my update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.